Hey everybody, welcome back to Sport Bike Menace. If you're new to the channel, please subscribe to the channel. Today we're going to talk about how to break in a new motor and why is it important to break in a new motor, and to some it is not important to break in a new motor. So right now we're sitting at 228 miles on this brand new motor. I bought it brand new with 0 miles. At 600 miles it's when I do the first service. So right now I'm just gonna be riding around and try to get as much miles as I can on the bike, because this Saturday the bike is going away to get a new gas tank because the dealership messed it up. So that's getting done, and I was like, well, I might as well get the first service done. So I got this whole week to put as much miles as I possibly can on this motor. So why is it important to break in a new motor? Everyone has different opinions on why it's important to break new motors, and each brand their break-in periods are different, and how you break them in are different for each brand. I don't know you. So an example would be BMW. They have a rev limiter on their bikes, and I can't remember what is that rev limit, if it's 8,000 RPMs. If you guys watch 650 Eve's channel, he always breaks in new motors, and he does his first service on YouTube, so you guys get like a better idea for that. KTMs are at 600 miles, and I think I said that a little bit earlier. And then you do your first oil service. And why is your first service so short? You know, some are 500 and some are 600 miles, and then you do your first service. So the reason why is because your motor probably still has metal shards floating around in the engine, and the motor needs to get how you say, settled in place with, you know, actually I'm gonna, oh, I can't turn now. The motor needs to settle in, you know, because it's brand new. So you got new pistons, piston rings, camshaft, all that, clutch, and it needs to wear in. Sometimes they believe if you wear them in incorrectly, you can blow out your motor before your first service. Now the opposite would be, if you watch More Mafia, he believes that if you baby your bike in the first service, that your horsepower and torque is not going to be as strong as if you would, you know, ride your bike harder during the you know, your break-in period. And like I said, everybody has their personal opinion on how to break in their motor. Me, I try to go intermediate, where I'm kind of beating on the motor some days, and then some days I'm not. I'll baby it some days. So again, it just depends on, you know, what people want to do with their bike. At the end of the day, that's their bike, that's their money. You know, if they damage their bike, that's their fault, right? Now, the one thing I will say about the Yamaha dealership that I went to, I wasn't really a fan of their service. I'm gonna put it like that, because they really didn't explain much about breaking in the motor, first service, what's coming out of my pocket as a first service. So they didn't say none of those things, and they should have, you know, went through the bike and asked me, hey, you know, have you ever had, you know, a new bike the way this one is? You know, ask questions, right? They should be more involved, but they wasn't. But anyways, it's not about them. So More Mafia says that if you break in your motor, you get more horsepower and torque, right? Other people say you shouldn't do it because the dealerships did it for a reason, right? To put first miles, you know, you got to take it easy on your bike. They put rev limits and whatnot. I can't tell you guys what you should do with your bike because I'm not a professional. I'm not a professional mechanic for one. I'm not an engineer, and I don't build motors, so I wouldn't be able to tell you the positives and negatives about breaking in your motor. I can say in my personal experience with the KTM that I got now, the first day that I got it, I was kind of beating it up. I mean, I probably shouldn't have, not right away. Maybe, you know, like right now I'm at 200 miles. Maybe now I could go a little bit harder than what I was. I mean, no, harder than I should have went. But it's kind of hard to break in this motor because it is a slower bike, and you know, you got to still go with traffic. And this bike, because of it is so slow in a small cc, you do gotta, you know, kind of go a little hard on it to get what you want out of it. There's not that much room in your RPMs to go any higher. Like 8,000 is the max, even though it says it goes up to 12,000 RPMs, but it only lets you go up to 8,000. So you really don't got a big RPM gap that you can actually stay in that gear. So an example, 5,000, you know, you gotta change gears. So the point is, you gotta change so much gears with this bike because it is a small cc bike. So it is kind of hard to break this one in the way they expect it to. It's not like a 1000, you know, you can catch up to speed really fast, do the break in how they want you to break it in. But yeah, why is it important to break in your motor the right way? Is that you don't blow your motor out and you don't blow the transmission, the clutch, because it's still settled in, getting settled in, and oil, you know, getting through where it needs to get through. And on top of that, for the how you say, the shards from, you know, the motor breaking in, there's going to be metal pieces floating around inside the oil pan, inside the motor. That's why you got to do the first service, so they can get all that material out from breaking in the motor. Now I don't think, you know, people blew out their motor, you know, breaking it in, but again, everyone is on different levels of intelligence. If you go too hard on a broken in, like, you know, to try to break it in, and you there, you know, stay maxed out, of course you're gonna blow that motor. So breaking in your motor, yes, it is important. Being careful to a certain extent, yes, it's important. Should you baby it 100%? I don't believe you should baby it 100%. I think you still should run it a little rough, like in the middle, to give it, you know, to get whatever it needs to get out of that motor. So when you do the first service, everything's out, all the shards or whatever kinks it has, you know, get it done on the first service. So that's my opinion to it. Am I a professional? No. So, you know, do it at your own risk if you're breaking in a motor. You can do your own research, search it up on Google. But yeah, guys, I hope you know, I gave you guys some information. But like I said, I'm at 230 miles on this bike, and he's 600, and then it's going to his first service, and then I'll make a video of how much the cost was for the first service at a dealership, and then I'll see if I do all the services myself or if I'll continue sending it to a dealership to do service. But yeah, guys, put a like, put a comment, subscribe to the channel. I have more videos on the KTM. It's just I'm waiting for the first service so I can do the review of the bike for positives and negatives, and I want to make them separated so I can milk it out as much as possible. Plus, some people don't want, you know, the videos to be too long, and that would probably make a long video by doing positives and negatives all in one. But what else? I still haven't changed these mirrors out because again, I'm waiting for it to do the review, and then I can start working on changing those mirrors out. But yes, subscribe to the channel. We got a lot of videos coming out with the KTM. So subscribe, put a comment, put a like, and I'll catch you guys on the next video once I get to go. Okay, here we go. Now we go.